Okay, welcome to episode 21. I know this is a bit of a weird start, but I'm gonna start welding a little frame together for my water meter hole. So yeah, let's quickly do that and then we can get back to the house. Now, the reason why I didn't put that much effort into the underside of this hatch is mostly because this is the hatch for my water meter and it's going to be in the hallway and there's going to be a doormat on this, and also it's for the water meter. It doesn't have to be that fancy. So I kind of just welded some stuff together, but hey, a piece of wood is going to be sitting on this in the middle basically. And then just like the other hatch from a previous episode, I'm gonna lay the fishbone floor on top of it, so it should look all pretty good. But yeah, let's paint this real quick and then I gotta get home because my brother is coming over for dinner. Okay, so now with the hatch all done, there's some weight on it so the glue can dry properly. We can focus our attention on this floor. This floor is going into the bedrooms because it's the same type of floor that you see here, except for the fact that it's not fishbone, it's just straight, which makes it way easier to lay, which is gonna be a lot of fun. But before we do that, the floor in my bedroom is kind of bumpy and lumpy and I don't want that. So we got some mortar, I think it's the correct term. If not, this is the correct term. And we're gonna try to straighten out the floor a bit, so then we can lay the floor on properly and it doesn't really sway with all the curves and weird stuff. So let's do that. So we're currently in my bedroom, and as you can see, There are some gaps, it's a bit bumpy and not even. So what we're going to do is we're going to be putting I guess a liquid floor, I don't know this word. We're going to be putting a layer of that on top of this, so everything is nice and level again. Then we can put the sound dampening plates on it, and then the floor itself. So yeah, it should all be pretty good. So let's quickly do that. Yay! Okay, so we cleaned up this room a bit, and now we also filled in some of the holes. However, I have to hold this because this is a pretty big hole. So we had to place a piece of wood underneath it. So yeah, I just have to hold it for a few minutes, but then we can pour the entire floor over here and hopefully make everything level. So we made some mistakes again. It sometimes happens. Apparently, I bought the wrong material and I wasn't aware of it because it was way too thick. It was meant for a thick layer of 3 centimeters, and it's not the top layer that we actually need. Apparently that's called an equalizer or something like that. I don't know. But I figured it out. So tomorrow I'm gonna buy the correct tin. However, as you saw, we mixed it and we basically applied it as well. And then we figured it out and we were kind of like, oh crap, now we have to remove everything. So we removed everything, but now it's currently drying again. So not great, but not too terrible either. Because once we have the equalizer or whatever the thing is, we can still just pour it on top of this because this is almost dry. And even if it's not dry, the equalizer is also not dry, so it will just cure together. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, oops. But to finish off this day with a good start or a good ending, let's quickly just place some sound installation in the other room. So yeah, let's just quickly start a time lapse. Just do it. Yeah. Okay, so now that we have this green in the floor, I'm gonna call it for today because I'm kind of tired and I'm also kind of sad that I got the wrong material. That's so embarrassing. But tomorrow I'm gonna get the right material. We're gonna be placing that floor, and once the floor is placed, it should be dry by Monday, which is, you know, the day after. And then we can also lay a nice green in the other room, and yeah, then this my new floor over here. As you can see, it resembles a lot of the old floor, and it basically also has the same system with which to place it, except for the fact that it's just way bigger and way longer. So yeah, should all be good, kind of cool. Oh, I'm gonna take a nap. Okay, so everything is dry, everything is clean, so let's go for a second attempt. Okay, so I got my weird shoes on. So now I'm ready to do this floor. So while the floor in this room is curing, I'm going to be focusing on the floor in this little room, as you can see. However, I have a pretty small upstairs hallway, I guess. Basically, I have to work in this square meter with my saw and my vacuum. So it is going to be a little bit tight. So what we're going to do is, one of those magical snaps. So now you see the floor, and now, look at this, an entire floor done in a flash. Also, the transition between these two, it's also quite nice. But I've made a few clips of the entire process. So let me just show you them real quick, and then we can move on to the next thing. So here you go. So now with this floor over here done, it's finally time to tackle the last floor in my house. So let's start a time lapse. Yeah. Now, with that, all of the floors in my entire house are done. Now, as you also saw in the time lapse, we had to remove the door because the floor is a bit higher now because of the green sound insulation that's on the floor. So the door doesn't work anymore. So I have to take a piece off the door, but then everything should work again. So I'm first going to clean up a bit because there's a lot of sawdust everywhere. And then I'm going to fix the door, and then we'll see where we go from there. So I made a little mistake while cutting a piece off the door because I cut off too much and I had to replace a few things. So now the door over here has a few extra pieces of wood on it, but I need to let the glue dry over there. And now I'm gonna clean up my house because there's sawdust everywhere, as in literally everywhere. So I'm gonna clean that up, I'm gonna let the glue dry, and once that's all done, I'm gonna be placing the door and call it for today because it's getting late and I also need to eat, so you know. So yeah. Okay, so it took a while, but yay, a perfectly functioning door, yay! This door took just as long to position it in the correct position as it took to lay this entire floor. Terrible. And you can see also why. Because this entire frame is crooked. So this entire door was crooked and everything was crooked and but yay, my floor! Okay, so my final floor is in my house. Finally. And the door works perfectly, as you can see. Yeah. So now I'm gonna place the thresholds because I've got a few more nice pieces of wood. So I'm gonna cut them out in the correct shape because you know they have to line up with all of the weird angles over here. So I'm gonna quickly do that and then we can bask in the glory of my entire floor. So yeah. And just like that, I got my thresholds. 1, 2, and 3. But you know, that one was already in. So, yay! Now, I think this is a perfect time to end the episode because we finished the entire floor with all the thresholds and all of the door work, which was also kind of a craptastic thing to do, but as you can see, looks pretty nice, looks pretty tight, looks pretty clean. So I wanted to thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. So yeah, bye.